on the intro, but you know, it's observational native. These are native comedy jokes, so it's just observational, everyday observational stuff from from Indian country, okay? And just regular everyday stuff. So, okay. I think my braids have been the same length for years now. When a crow crows and another crow crows, is that first crow all like, holy shit, who said that? They want to fight, like, because I'm a status Indian. I know I don't look it, right? Even some of you guys after the show be like, fuck you, bro, let's see your status card, man. You want to go, man? You want to fucking go? See your card, man? People always want to fight because of the way I don't look native, okay? I get it. Fuck, I live it, okay? I'm never going to get cast in Dances with Wolves, the musical. I'll never be cast in a Crime Stoppers commercial, okay? Right up. There's fucking bears outside, so don't go passing out somewhere out here. Just get your ass home. But stick around and have some drinks or not. But thank you very much once again. BingoRage, thank you.
So, what do you do?
I'm a...
No, wait, we don't give a shit. This is Eric from the Zzorhn and BingoRage show. That's Zzorhn over there. I'm BingoRage. This is Ryan Mcmahon. He's a stand-up comic.
And a stand-up guy.
He's got jokes. So,
he's using finger quotes.
No,
air quotes.
that's just a tip. So tell me, how did the show go tonight?
Not well. I felt like, if you want me to be honest, yeah, it was good enough. But you know, I always want to do as well as I can, and I just felt like.
Speak louder.
I felt like the new material fell short tonight, and I didn't quite do my job. So.
See, I actually disagree. I thought your new material was actually really apt.
Oh, thank you.
I really did. A lot of the audience was very respectful in that.
Yeah.
Of course, there was a lot, and I mean, not to be, you know, like, and a lot of your jokes, you know, you're a native comedian, and a lot of your jokes were like geared towards, you know, Anishinaabe.
Yeah.
Do you feel like a lot of the white boys are going, ha ha ha? That's funny.
I feel like my goal is not to win comedy fans. So, like, I don't go into a show hoping that if 200 people are there, 200 people fall in love with Ryan McMahon. My goal is to write from my point of view and to find my fans.
Well, do you believe that a comedian actually has to find his fans, or does he write from himself?
Well, in a perfect world, it's that combination. It's you end up finding your audience by being true to yourself. So a lot of comics will lie. A lot of comics are
a lot of comics do lie.
Yeah, a lot of comics are almost like chameleons.
Play to the audience, you know, like the thing is that you were
making
yourself.
up a funny story a lie.
Yes. Now, to make up a funny story for the sake of a joke, I think that the old saying that Richard Pryor says remains true today. The idea of truth in comedy, that where you find your truth is always the funniest place, because that's what people will respond to. So to answer your question, the idea of finding your audience versus being truthful to yourself as a writer and as an artist, it's always more important to to be truthful, so that the people that do come with you on your journey are get what they're looking for. I think the first show tonight, you know, you get almost 70 people in the room, which is a great turnout here. But maybe 40 of them had no idea who I was, no idea what they're going for. They just heard the word stand-up comedy and they go, ha ha ha, and then they leave and go like, that's not what I thought it would be.
You know, this is something I hear a lot from comics, is that they say, you know, that when you come to a comedy show, you should be following the comics kind of idea of what is going on rather than wanting to be entertained.
But I know what you're saying, but I think that the difference in I mean, if you want to be entertained, you should rent a Will Ferrell movie. But if you want to see a comic, you shouldn't expect anything. You should expect to be presented with whatever that artist's vision is.
I think comics expect a more what's the word I'm looking for? A more skillful audience, a more discerning audience.
What I hope for are people that are just willing to listen and then they're able to make up their mind. Let's say tonight 200 people came through here. My goal, like I said earlier, is not necessarily to have 200 people go, oh, he's the best comic I've ever seen. That's not what I'm interested in. But what I am interested in is getting people to leave here and go, you know what, I would see him again. So,
what do you think about playing up to Fort Francis, though? The fact is that this is your hometown. You said yourself, it's most comedians don't play in their hometown
ever.
You were in Fort Francis. This is where you're born and raised.
Yep.
How do you feel it went?
Well, not good. But
you got a couple of local laughs.
Yeah.
Actually, I found you very funny.
Well, thank you.
I relate it.
It's lame. Listen, it's lame when you buy an album and I buy your album and I go, hey man, I'm a huge fan of your music, and then I go, you know, I bought everything that you've released. I have your T-shirts, I have your posters, and then you as the musician go, yeah, but my albums suck, and you should. That's a lame thing to do, and that's what I'm doing right now. It's lame, but to be honest, if you see this show a year from now, it'll be very different. And to put it into context, it took me 4 years to get that 2 hours that I just recorded for CBC TV. It took me 4 years. This is my 10th show with this. So, relatively speaking, it's not enough time. The jokes are new. The ideas aren't fully conceptualized.
Did you bail on some of the material tonight?
Couple jokes I already knew weren't going to work based on what I was trying to set up. So, it's a game of Jenga. If you can, and that's the best analogy I've heard about this comedy thing, is that you're pulling blocks in an attempt to get the reaction, and based on the reaction and based on how that thing is balancing, you start to go for another, or you plan that next block and you go, oh, I see that block, and you can see things. And so tonight, first show, there were 2 Native people in the audience. And so right away I'm going, well, this isn't going to work, this isn't going to work, this isn't going to work. Now, should I do that? Maybe not. Maybe I should do those jokes anyway and see if they work. But doing a setup to a joke and it getting nothing, then going like, well, now I've got 5 more minutes on this whole thing. That's when you start to bail, and you're really, yeah, you're really trying to switch things. You're really trying to switch things up. You really try to switch things up as you go.
You didn't swear too much tonight. It wasn't that bad a potty mouth.
I say fuck a lot.
That's funny. I never even noticed you said fuck once.
Yeah.
I don't even hear fuck anymore. What are you talking about?
I do. I know sometimes. Yeah.
Seriously, did you hear that?
So,
fuck.
I tried to help I noticed that you gave me the quick stink eye to the side and you kept going.
I don't even remember that.
You were talking about blowjobs, and I offered up the rusty trombone as an example.
Oh!
And then you just gave me a mean look and kept going.
No, it wasn't even a mean look. It was like a, what the fuck is a rusty trombone? I've never heard of that before. So, but I remember, and you said,
You stick it in her ass and her
oh, please. That's what the fuck. Okay, well, I heard it, but I also didn't know what it was, so I kind of like, when I heard it, I just kind of looked over and I thought, don't deal with that because you don't know what that is. So
I thought it's the stand-up thing, that you can neither get hindrance nor help from the audience.
Listen, sometimes people come to comedy thinking that it's helpful.
Right.
But 100% of the time, I can tell you that it's not. Reason being is that comics write every word they present, so it's carefully crafted and structured in a way that ideas lead to the next idea, or a theme. You stay in something thematically for 15 or 20 minutes.
I did shut up after that.
Yeah, well, I mean, and to my defense and your defense, I actually heard just the thing, and then I kind of went like, what was that? Oh, it was Keast. I don't know.
It doesn't matter what he said.
Nobody knows Keast. Who the fuck is Keast?
It was a moment. It was a moment, but also a moment I just kind of skimmed. Yeah.
I thought about throwing something on the stage when you said you could decide whether or not to bend over for something.
Yeah.
Cough drops, I thought would be perfect.
Could have made a Jill reference.
or a loony,
Thankfully, I've never been to jail, so I would be lying if I were to make a jail reference. But that, yeah, you know what? Like when you do comedy, what you're hoping for is, as a comic, you're trying to be honest. You're trying to be truthful, whatever your truth is. So not the truth, because that doesn't exist.
No.
But your truth, how you feel, whatever it is that you want to talk about. Whatever you want to shine a light on, and that's your job. And what you hope for is success. You hope that people go, hey, I recognize myself in that idea, or hey, I've thought that, or I've felt that. And because laughter is the recognition of those things. Yeah.
Laughter is the recognition of things.
Yeah, so
I mean, I've put myself in that place. I've never described it like that way. But this man here is describing it exactly how I've felt it, and I relate.
Yeah.
And that's why humor hits people, is because you relate to people.
That's right. That's right. And I think like when you're, I mean, the best case scenario is you have a bunch of people that are coming out to hear your ideas, your thoughts on something. And then you create almost communally. You create those ideas. You can manifest ideas and thoughts. And someone that's brilliant as that, with that, is somebody like Joe Rogan, right?
Yes.
The Joe Rogan Experience. He's got these army of people that shout "Death Squad." I have a Death Squad T-shirt. I wore it in Vancouver, and I was just walking around Vancouver, and people all of a sudden, Death Squad, like just, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot, like that's a thing, and so what you hope for, I think, as any artist, whether you're a musician, a visual artist, a writer, a comedian, is that people will follow you for your work. Now, that's not what I'm after per se. I mean, because that's some ego bullshit, but I think it's important to realize what you're doing and the effect it has. So that's really what it is. No pandering. I could have made Fort Francis Muskie versus Kenora Bronco jokes all night. I could have talked about high school teachers. I could have done all that, but I don't want to do that because that's not what I do. It's been fun, and to be honest, this is my fifth year doing stand-up professionally, and so I'm still a baby. They still talk about, all these old pros always talk about the 10th year. Once you hit that 10th year, you're at a place where you've done enough shows, you've been on stage for enough hours that you could give me a hat and put a bunch of words in it, and I could pull that, and from my point of view in my stage persona, they call it character, but from my character on stage, I would be able to talk about that thing freely and make it funny. So, you know, you get to a place where you feel comfortable doing new material and touring this new act has been I feel exposed all the time, and I feel like, you know.
But it is you. It is exposed.
Yeah.
It's you.
Yeah.
It's Ryan Mcmahon. Here we go. This is you, because you don't make shit up.
Right.
This is all about you.
Right. Yeah.
It's you raw on stage.
Well, where are you going from here?
From here, I go back to Winnipeg. I go back to Winnipeg for a couple of days, and then go to Wisconsin. Have a bunch of dates in Wisconsin. Then Friday, head to Toronto, and then from there it's just Southern Ontario up to Winnipeg. I'll be in Wiki around the 20th or 21st of October. Then I head east to Halifax, Moncton, Fredericton.
He's all over the place, guys. If you want to see him up, it's Ryan McMahon. He's the best.
Eric Keast will be doing stand-up comedy at the Clovers Valley Farmers Market all summer, Saturday afternoons, from 1 to 2.
Club 88 all week long. The Ramada Room down at the
Zzorhn and BingoRage show live with Ryan McMahon signing out.
Eric Keast is available for kids' birthday parties as well.
and bar mitzvahs. Yes. Talking to the future.
Go to RyanMcMahonComedy.com and all my information's there. You can download my new free app, put it on your smartphones or your dumb phone. I don't care.
I said it was the future.
What? It's it's now.
You're talking to the future. Look, they've got jet cars.
How far in the future?
You're fucking dead. Don't tell them to go to Ryan McMahon Comedy.
Oh yeah, everyone is dead.
Not everyone, just us.
Oh, we're dead. You're watching this now because we died, and instead of having somebody else do our what do you call those at funerals?
Eulogy.
Instead of someone else doing the eulogy, we're gonna do our own eulogies. So
you do mine over yours. Ryan McMahon. He was the wordsmith. You know, but one of those wordsmiths who doesn't quite know what the fuck they're doing. But he was plucky.
Who only knows a few words.
And, you know, he can grunt pretty funny. So that's more like word and shaping, not smithing. And he didn't beat his children too much.
He rarely beat his children.
You know, he got a good laugh out of that on stage. He's a hell of a guy.
Yeah.
Except he's dead.
Welcome to the funeral and eulogy for Mr. Eric C. Keast. Eric. What can you say about Eric other than dirty pants? Dirty pants and Eric.
Paint is not dirt. Now, the backside might be dirty, but the front side
You're
is
dead.
not.
You're not allowed to talk during your eulogy.
Sorry.
So dirty. And
that's about it.
Come on, improv skills.
Improv boy.
Listen, one time I was at the Mekong with Eric, and we must have gone through about 45 orders of chicken balls, and I said, Eric, why are we eating so many chicken balls? And Eric said, you know, I'm waiting for my Ontario Arts Council grant response letter, and I'm having a chicken ball sit-in, and I'm gonna be eating chicken balls until I get the letter. And I said, God damn it. Have you checked your mail? And he said, no, because I've been here eating chicken balls. So I went to his house, and I had the letter, and I just about opened it. I wanted to open it. This is my fondest memory of Eric. And see, what Eric was trying to do was, he was trying to make a 360-foot trout statue made of recycled materials from the old Revco carpet building. It was going to be a carpet trout. Now, Eric always had a weird thing with fish and devil birds, but I supported him. So with Eric's carpet trout, 360-foot carpet trout project, which was actually more of a statement about post-racial and post-colonial settlement here in northwestern Ontario. It was a heady project. With the letter I had in my hands, and I thought, I should open this, because if it's a rejection letter, I'm not bringing it to Eric. Eric will sit there and eat himself to death like the glutton on the movie Seven. That'll be Eric right inside the Mekong.
Chicken balls.
And he'll chicken ball himself to fucking death. And what a horrible death it would be. But he will die with the dream of the 360-foot carpet trout intact. And so I couldn't open the letter. I got to the Mekong that afternoon. Now, first of all, Seine River in the house, okay? It must have been medical van day. The place was packed with Nietzsche's, and that made Eric happy. He loved his people, and he spoke in tongues occasionally. So Eric sat around speaking Anishinaabemuin to all these Seine River Nietzsche's, and he was actually on his 54th plate of chicken balls, 54 plates, when I walked in and I had the letter, and he just had sauce. It was just sauce and dough in his goatee.
I only eat the middle part.
There was just mounds of dough.
You just push it between your teeth, and then the dough extrudes out the side.
So as I approached the table, I showed Eric the envelope as to say, here it is. And Eric, he tried to say something, but he was so full from eating 54 plates of chicken balls. He could barely breathe. And he was just, I saw one eye twinkle. I mean, he got so fat from it. His eyes and everything were closed completely. The swelling from 54 plates of chicken balls is unimaginable.
It was an allergic reaction.
He was actually stung by a bee. A very long story short, I got the envelope into Eric's hands. And what ended up happening next is nothing short of a miracle. Now, we opened that letter, and sure enough, the funding came through for Eric. The funding for the 360-foot carpet trout, in fact, was approved. Now, what happened next is where this gets ugly. Now, first of all, we had to move the Fort Francis Tower, the tall tower that they relocated down to the... We brought that over because we needed scaffolding. So we had the Fort Francis Tower on top of an old piece of the craft mill here in Fort Francis. We just started building shit, and it was not secure. I mean, Zzorhn tried his best to weld it, but fucking Zzorhn couldn't weld.
You're the worst camera person. Put that fucking down.
Zzorhn could not weld, so I just remember seeing Eric tied up with Berkeley Trilene 8-pound test fishing line to the side of this godforsaken, horribly welded... I can barely... I saw the tower, I mean, it was a craft mill wall, but I saw the tower start to move, and I said, Eric, don't lean that way. He was like, don't tell me what to do, because Eric was really fucking angry all the time, and it scared me when he yelled, so I didn't say anything after that. and the Fort Francis Tower just started to lean, and I remember looking up, saying goodbye to him as he fell, and he fell into ironically, the mound of carpet that was to be the 306. I thought it would have broke his fall, but no. He was easily 200 feet in the air when he fell, and that carpet is still there today. Kids play on it when their parents are playing slow pitch.
Feral cats.
At the new soccer diamonds, or whatever the fuck you called. Kids play on the carpets, and Eric's body is still there. It's huge. It's all bloated, and the seagulls have picked it over. His status card is emblazoned in a piece of bronze work that he had been trying to sell for years, but we laminated the card and embedded it inside of that piece of bronze, a bronze mask. Good guy, angry guy, with an affinity for chicken balls from the Mekong and dirty pants. I love you, Eric Keast. Rest in peace.
I think I only made fun of you for like 30 seconds.
If you're gonna die, we need it to be doing an installation. It has to be a trout, and it has to be recycled materials. It has to be. That's the way you're gonna die. Clearly.
Yeah.
Don't ever submit.
All right, I really regret ever having considered interviewing Ryan Mcmahon. We'll delete this material from my hard drive. Good work, Ryan.
Thanks.
Nice night.
I thought that went well. How do you think it went?
Great. I hear the first show blew chunks. Just fucking awful. I saw people walking down the road.
Yeah, they were so mad they didn't even drive in their
nobody
vehicles.
walks down this road.
Yeah, I know.
People were driving away at high speed.
Yeah.
I can understand why.
Yeah, well, I mean, so mission accomplished. That's what I was hoping for.
You get funny after 10 years?
Most people quit about 4 years into it, so I'm going to be making up my mind here on the way home tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, Ryan.
Hey,
Have a good
night. Thank you.
You are the worst fucking camera person ever, you know that?
Actually, I got some really good fucking shit, man.
Okay, we'll push the stop button.